السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ما بعد. So we are back with our verb conjugation, and last time we talked about the different types of verbs. Now, different types of verbs, and we divided. Just for a review, we divided into 4 types, right? ثلاثي, Mujarrad. That is 3 root letters. You'll find only 3 letters. Then you'll find letters which are added on to these 3. They're called Sulasi Mazid, and then Rubai Mujarrad, and then Rubai Mazid. That means only 4 letters. Wasliya, that is 4 root letters. Rubai Mazid, you add 1 letter or 2 letters to it. So we divided. So that could be only 3 letters or more than 3. That is for these 3 root letters, you'll add 1 letter, 2 letters, or 3 letters additional to it. And then Rubai Mujarrad is 4 root letters, and you'll add 1 or 2 additional to it. We'll see whenever it comes. And then we learned that Thulathi Mujarrad. Now we are only focusing on Thulathi Mujarrad. So we are only focusing on the number 1. So he has this numbering, right? So number 1 is all about Fi'al Thulathi Mujarrad. So starting will focus on Fi'al Mujarrad Thulathi or Mujarrad Rubai, whatever. Now we'll focus on Mujarrad Thulathi only now. So all the numbers will start with 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And then in this Thulathi Mujarrad, so let's write Thulathi Mujarrad here, or Mujarrad Thulathi, whatever. Mujarrad Thulathi can have 6 abwabs, 6 abwabs, right? So 6 babs. So like first one will be Bab Nassara Yansuru. And then that means what does this mean, 6 bab? Look at the middle letter. The middle letter will have a Fatah, and then it will become a Dhamma. And then Fataha Yaftahu. Right? You can say in any order. This will remain Fatah. See, look at the Ta. Ta has a Fatah. This is also Fatah. So it's called Bab Fatah. And then we have Daraba. Daraba Yadribu. Yadribu. Look at the Fatah becomes a Kasra here. I mean, you can't clearly see the Kasra. Fataha Daraba Yadribu. And then we have these 3. And then Sami'a Yasma'u. From a Kasra to Fatah. Yasma'u. Sami'a Yasma'u. And then we'll have the 2 rare ones, Karuma and Yakurumu, the Dhamma ones, and Kasra ones, Hasiba, Yahsibu. So anytime you're concerned with the Thulathi Mujarrad, you have to find out, is it 3 letters? Then which Bab is it? Is it Bab Nassara, Fataha, Daraba, Sami'a, Karuma, Hasiba? Karuma, Hasiba, you can forget, only remember 4 are the most important ones, right? Is it from changing the middle letter? Is it changing from Fatah to a Dhamma, or Fatah to a Fatah, remaining Fatah, or Fatah to a Kasra? Generally, you cannot guess all of them, but you can guess this one. Fataha Yaftahu. This is Yaftahu, right? This you can guess when generally a throat letter, if it's throat letters, it will be Fataha, like Dhahaba, right? The throat letters are 6, right, in Tajweed. Hamza, Ha, Ain, Ha, Ghain, Kha. So if it is the middle letter or the last letter, it could be Fataha. Not all the time, but most of the time. But rest all you cannot guess generally. Yeah, you can guess this also, Sami'a, because most of the time if you see a Kasra, 99% of the time it's a Fatha on the Mudar. So you're concerned about this. Now this was fine, right? This is the second category. So this is the number 1 again. This is Bab Nassara, for example. He gives this one, right? So this is, he calls Fa'ala Yaf'ulu. Right, Fa'ala Yaf'ulu. This is the, look at this. This is called Nassara Yansuru. Now there could be 9 types again in this, right? So each type can have 9 types in it. What are those 9 types? We divided into 2 big ones, Sahih and Mu'tal. Right? Basically, they divide into 2, right? 2 big headings. And then in Sahih, you have Salim. What is Salim? Some people call it Sahih. There's no Hamza in it. There's no Waw in it. There's no Ya in it. And there's no doubling in it. It should be free from 4 things. And these are the normal verbs. Yeah? They're called Salim. No Hamzas, no this thing, no Waws. If you have a double letters like Hajja, Ha, Jim, Jim, it is called Muda'af. Right? Muda'af. So it could be number 1, 2. And then it could be mahmuz. Mahmuz are also of 3 types. This is also sahih, but it has Hamza. Mahmuz al-fa, that means Hamza can come in the beginning. Mahmuz al-ain, Hamza can come in between. And mahmuz al-lam. Al-lam, right? Mahmuz al-lam, right? So sahih could be divided into 5 types again. Sahih means there's no waw or ya, right? That's a big category. In that we have salim, no doubling, no hamzas. It's called salim. And then mudaf, double letters, twin letters, and then hamza could be divided in 3. It could come in between, like sa'ala is in between, or in the front, like akala, or qara'a at the end. So hamza could come in the end. So 5 types again. Again, mu'tal can be divided into 5 types again. Right? Mu'tal also again for 5 types. So mu'tal. So the weak verb, that weak letter, that is waw or ya, could come in the starting. So it's called mu'tal al-fa, which we'll call them misal. Right? Mithal. And then mu'tal al-ain, we'll call them ajwaf. And then mu'tal al-lam, we'll call them naqis. And then there could be 2 weak letters. These are double trouble. And so waw and ya can come together, or can they come? They're called lafif. They can come separate. So lafif maqroon means the waw and ya came together, and lafif mafruq. These are all the types. So this is the last number which it represents. This is the last number. So 0. So he'll call this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this number could change now. So in each bab, we could have all these 9 or 10, actually, all these 10. But he starts with 0, so it'll go to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. So even this could have 9, this could have 9, this could have 9. That's make the verb so much. But not all are common, of course. If you get a hang of it, it's easy to conjugate, inshallah ta'ala. So today, what are we focusing on? We were focusing on 1, 1, 0. What is 1 again? We are all on ones now. The first will be all hundreds. Right? What is hundreds? Hundreds means Mujarrad, ثلاثي. Only 3-letter verbs. No, will not go to 4 and will not go to 5. And which bab is it? Again, 1. This is bab Nassara. Bab Nassara. Nassara yansuru. The first we are starting with bab Nassara. That is fa'ala yaf'ulu. And what is a 0? 0 means sahih salim. It means it's sahih and it's salim. So it could be sahih salim, sahih mudaf, sahih mahmuz, and all that jazz. Okay, you understand? Sahih salim. Okay, let's try to conjugate this. And I'm trying to go as slow as possible for beginners who might be watching just these videos without doing Madina books or whatever. I won't recommend that. Go to Madina books. He'll bring slowly all these verbs, because memorizing them doesn't matter. I mean, because you have to understand them and use them in sentences to make it worth it. Okay, so what are these columns then? So they are pronouns, right? Damir. So damir, there's a third person, that is, he's not in front of you. Ghaib. And there's mukhatab, he's front of you. And mutakallim is the speaker, right? Speaker. So third person, second person, and first person. Third, first, second, first. And then in third person, that could be masculine, mudhakkar, and they could be feminine. And then mukhatab also could be masculine and it could be feminine. And then mutakallim, anyways, it has the same form. So if you don't know, these are the pronouns, right? Huwa, huma, hum. Huwa is he. Huma, they both. Hum, they all. Hiya, she. Right? She, they both, they all. Anta, you male, masculine. Antuma, you both. Antum, you all. Anti is you female, you both, you all. Antuna, ana, I, nahnu, we. And these are the general detached pronouns. Now, how do we say he did? So the verb is what? Fa'ala. 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 How do you say he did? Fa'ala. Just fa'ala. Khalas, he did. You might ask, where's the he in it? So in fa'ala and fa'alat, he and she, the he is hidden. Right? The he is hidden. So this is fa'ala. Because it's, instead of saying huwa fa'ala all the time, we say, huwa is hidden. And it could also mean, like you may bring a name, for example, fa'ala Muhammadun. So now it will not be he did, because the doer came, that is fa'il came. We say Muhammad did. We'll not say Muhammad he did. Right? Basic verbs. So fa'ala, he did. So in English we say he did. Right? Now I have to say they both did. Right? They both did. They both did. In English we don't change the verb, but in Arabic you add an alif for they both. They both did. Right? I'm just giving examples. So fa'ala will become what? And anytime you want to bring duals, you have to remember the alif. It's called aliful muthanna, the alif of dual. Always bring the alif, right? So fa'ala will become what? Oh, he's given it already, right? Fa'ala will become, let me write it. Fa'ala, huwa fa'ala. Huma will be what? Fa'ala. Just add an alif. The da, if you can remember. You just add an 8. That's fa'ala, fa'ala. Always you should have an alif. So if you remember this point, any verb you give, sami'a, he heard. So if you say they both heard, it'll be sami'a. Huma, sami'a, they both heard. Now I want to say they all heard. They all did, sorry. So it'll be what? They all did do, right? They do. So fa'ala, anytime you want to say they, there should be a wow. That wow is called wow jama. Wow, masculine plural. Huh? So fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. Fa'alu. And why do we add this alif? This alif is protection alif. This is called aliful wiqaya. Because if this wasn't there, people could read as he did and. This wow could be misplaced as and, right? Mistook as and. So we'll add a wow always. Huh? So anytime you want to write dhahabu, for example, you write it like this. Basic stuff this is. So fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. Okay. That's how he makes this conjugation. Right? Basic. Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. So huwa fa'ala, huma fa'ala, hum fa'alu. This is all masculine, by the way. Huh? We have to be very careful. Is it masculine or feminine? Now, how do you make feminine? You add a ta here. Fa'alat. You add a ta. Fa'alat. And the ta is called ta'u tanith. Ta of feminine. Right? Fa'alat. So fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. Huwa fa'ala, huma fa'ala, hum fa'alu. Female fa'alat. And then huma fa'alata. This is fa'alata. You should read the ta. It's a fatha on a ta. If I want, I can put a fatha on this. Fa'alata. Fa'alata. They both did. I mean, duals are not that important anyways, but everything we cover. And then for feminine, you have to have fa'alna. Fa'alna. So anytime you want to remember these rules, duals always bring in alif. Alif. And then plural masculine, always there should be a wow somewhere. Because boys will go wow, right? You have to remember wow, wow all the time for boys. For girls, plural feminine, there should be a noon somewhere. In verbs, there should be a noon. This noon is called noonun niswa. Noon. Always there should be a noon. If you remember these two rules, everything will become easy. Inshallah. Everything. Duals, there should be an alif all the time. Plural masculine, there should be a wow. And plural feminine, there should be a noon. So that's why we add a noon. Fa'alna. Fa'alna means they, women did. Fa'alna. Because in English, there's only they. But in Arabic, you have to be careful. Masculine or plural. They. So fa'alna. So fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna. So you can say, huwa fa'ala, he did. They both did. Huma fa'ala, hum fa'alu, hiya fa'alat, huma fa'alata, hunna fa'alna. Right? Hunna fa'alna. Now, you notice the lam here. Lam has a fatha, lam has a fatha again, lam has a dhamma here, lam has a fatha, lam has a fatha, lam has a sukun now. From here, and the pronouns, so what you can say, it's hidden anyways. These are called sakin pronouns. I mean, they have sukun. See, fa'alata, the alif has sukun. Here, all the pronouns, these are also pronouns, by the way. Because you're instead of saying anta, antuma, antum, anta, fa'ala, antuma, fa'ala, because the verb remains same in English, right? But they change the verb itself. So these are also pronouns. So anytime someone asks you how many words is fa'alta or fa'alna, you should say 2 words. One is a verb and the other is a pronoun. That's why you're translating as 2 words. They did. These are called mutaharrik now. Ta, tuma, tum, ti, tuma, tunna, tuna. How do you do this ta, tuma, tum? Very easy. If you understand anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, right? You take the tas off and put them to the verbs. Anta, antuma, antum, right? You did, you both did, you all did. You female did, you both did, and you all did, right? And ana will be 2. Right? They should have a noon, but noon is for nahnu. Ana will be always 2. 2 and nahnu is na, fa'alna. This is all conjugation, right? So just understanding them doesn't help. You have to have a lot of practice. That's why doing books like Madina books and other books help you a lot, because you need to practice these out in sentences, using in context and so on. So this is the whole 14 verbs of the Madi. And this is called Ma'lum, active voice. He did, they both did, they all did, she did, fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna, fa'alta, fa'altuma. You can remember the endings also. Ta, tuma, tum, thi, tuma, tunna. Fa'alta, fa'altuma, fa'altu, fa'alti, fa'altuma, fa'altuna, fa'altu, fa'alna. Fa'altu, fa'alna. Very easy. Once you get a Madi is the easiest to understand. Next, we have Majhul, passive. Right? So what does passive mean? Active voice, passive voice, right? Fa'ala, he did. Fu'ila, it was done to him. So how do you make it passive? Remember, the first letter should have a Dhamma. Right? Give the first letter a Dhamma. And the second last letter should get a Kasra. Letter a Kasra. And every mutaharrik, this is the rule, the blanket rule for every verb. Every haraka noun, you can say mutaharrik instead of haraka noun should get a Dhamma before the second last letter. Right? This is the rule. I mean, this rule is a little difficult. If you don't remember this, it's okay. You can remember in another way. Like if the ta comes, give Dhamma to first and second letter. And if Hamza comes, you can give it to the first and third letter. But whatever it is, every haraka noun or mutaharrik noun should get a Dhamma. Like you have a long verb, right? Istaghfara. Let me give the harakas here. Istaghfara. This is form 10. We'll see whenever it comes. Now Istaghfara. I want to make this passive. So what I'll do? First letter Dhamma. First letter Dhamma. And then Sin has a Sukun, so leave the Sukun once. Is. And then Ta has a Fatah. That also should be a Dhamma. So that is because it has a haraka, no? Give it Dhamma. Ghain, leave it like that. It has a Sukun. And this is the second last letter, Istaghfara. So this should be a Kasra. And Ra will always be left because that's Mabni. So Ustughfira. It was, he was sought. Istaghfara is to seek forgiveness. So forgiveness was sought by him. Or something like that. Forgiveness was sought. Ustughfira. Ustughfira. So you, or you can remember anytime Hamza comes, make the first and the third letter instead of remembering that. Okay. Like you have Taqabbala. This is form 5. How do you make it passive? Is you make it give a Dhamma and the second letter also. Tuqabbila. So anytime a Ta comes, that is form 5 and 6, you can remember, give it to the first and second. And for Hamza, you have to give first and third. Anyways, this is just how to make passive. You can go Madina book lesson 3, inshallah. So how do you make it passive? Fa'ala, fu'ila. Same. How do you say it was done to them? Fu'ila and then fu'ilu. Right? Same. Just fa'ala, fu'ilu. So you can remember u'i, u'i. You see, this is all u'i. Right? Fu'ila, u'i'a. Right? Fu'ila, u'ilu, fu'ilu, fu'ilat, fu'ilata. And the same conjugation. Fu'ilna, fu'ilta, fu'iltuma, fu'iltim, fu'ilti, fu'iltuma, fu'iltunna, fu'iltu, fu'ilna. Ana fu'iltu, nahnu, fu'ilna. This is Madi. Madi is the easiest for you to conjugate. Once you get a hang of it, you have all the verbs like this. Anyhow they are. Right? There might be some changes in naqis and all that, but most of the cases like this. And then Mudari, fa'ala yaf'ulu. Right? Mudari. Why are you giving a Dhamma? Because this is Verb Nassara we are talking about, right? Yaf'ulu. Yaf'ulu. So how did we make the Mudari? We take the 3 letters. Like for example, we take Fa, Ain and Lam. And you have to give a Dhamma now because Mudari always starts with one of the 4 letters, right? It either starts with a Ya or a Ta or a Hamza or a Nun. Ya, Tina, or you can remember, right? Atayna, right? These are the 4 letters. These are called Huruful Mudari. They should always start with these 4 letters. Ya, Ta, and Hamza and Nun. Because Ya is generally for he or they. This Ya. And this Ta could mean she or you. This Ta is for just for she, singular and dual, and you, and Hamza is for ana, and nahnu is for, Noon is for nahnu. So you take this, and then anytime you give a Dhamma, why is it given Dhamma? Because this is 3 letters, right? 1, 2, 3. You can count 1, 2, 3. So if it is 4 letters, we'll give a Dhamma. But if it is 3 letters, we'll give a Fatha. Sorry, I said Dhamma. We'll give a Fatha. Fa'ala. So this will be Ya. Give a Ya. And then the first fa kalima, the first letter will get a sukun all the time. Right? Fa. And then ain will get what? It depends on the bab. So I say Nassara yansuru. So this also fa'ala yaf'ulu. This will get a dhamma. It depends on the 6 forms it is, right? And the last will always have a dhamma because this is the case ending. This will also change, right? If you put an before, it will become fatha. This is the Arab of it. So yaf'ulu. Yaf'ulu. Now, how do you make it? Right? Yaf'ulu. I want to say they both did. They both are doing. This is present tense, right? They both are doing. So yaf'ulu will become yaf'ula. You add an alif. But in Modal, you have to add a noon also. And this noon is called noon or Arab or noon or Rafa. Right? This noon is also added. So anytime in Modal, you want to add duals, add noon also. Same thing for plural. Yaf'alu, you take yaf'alu, you want to add a wow for plural, but add a noon again. Add a noon. So yaf'ulu, yaf'ulani, yaf'uluna. There we added just a wow. Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. You can look here, right? Fa'alu with a wow. But here, yaf'ulu, yaf'ulani. Add noon because this noon will drop, right? If you put an, lan, kai, idan, or lam, lamma, whatever, this noon will run away many times. Okay. This noon is a sign of Dhamma. Rafa. Right? Go back to Madina book 2 if you want clarity about this. We have 5-6 lessons about this. Madina book 2, where it brings how it becomes nasb by dropping the noon. And then you want to say she does. Right? How do you say she does? Now, can you change the endings? No. In Mudare, always remember you have to change the beginnings along with the endings, of course. So this will bring to a ta. Taf'ulu. She does is taf'ulu. And this is the most confusing one because anta is also taf'ulu. Anta is also taf'ulu. So anta is equal to hiya. Hiya taf'alu, anta taf'alu has the same conjugation. Similarly, antuma also. So taf'alu, and you want to make this dual, taf'ulani. And huma taf'ulan, they both are doing. Taf'ulani, they both are doing. And then you have to bring the ya back. Hunna. Hunna, what you'll do, you'll bring the ya back. Yaf'alna. Yaf'alna. Hunna yaf'alna. Why did we bring? Because actually it should have been a ya. Because this is third person, right? This is all ghaib. Ya. So yaf, taf, yaf. You can remember like that if you want. Yaf, taf, yaf. Yaf'alna. Taf'ulu, taf'ulani, yaf'alna. The ya comes back. Now second person is all taf. Second person should always be starting with a taf. Ta. So you are doing same as she. So this same word. Anta taf'ulu. You are doing. Then dual is again easy. Add alif and noon. Taf'ula ni. Add a noon also, right? And then you all are doing. Add a taf'alu na. But for anti, they brought another new thing. For anti, anytime you're speaking to a girl, add ina to it in present tense. Right? Because in Madi, you can just say fa'alti. You can take anti's ti and add it. But now there was a lot of problem. What should we add? So they added a ya. So anti taf'ali na. One girl, like anti tadhabina ilal bayt. You are going to the house. When you're speaking to one girl, not plural, one girl. Ina. Ina is always for one singular girl. So you add a ya'ul mukhataba, this is called. When you're speaking to a girl, ya'ul mukhataba. This ya. And again, you add a noon to it. So you can add another rule to that. Alif for duals, waw for plurals, noon for feminine plurals, and ya for singular feminine in mudare anyways. Right? Ya, anytime you want. This is actually a ya, and this noon is also for this thing. Anti taf'alina. And then dual again is same, taf'alani. And then antunna, again the ta, taf'ulna. Just take the verb and add the noon, taf'ulna. Ana is easy, af'alu. This is the most easy. And nahnu naf'alu. Many students will face problems in mudara itself. All right. So first, what I'd recommend to, if you want to memorize these ones. Yaf'alu, taf'alu, taf'alu, af'alu, naf'alu. These are 5 in your pocket, like Brother Asif calls. Right? 5, very easy to memorize. So change the ya, ta, again ta is same, and then na. And then you can learn plurals, una, ani, and all that. But these are the very easy ones. Then there's noon comes and goes. The noon, these are the ones. Maybe you can do something. Yeah, these are the ones. Yaf'alani, yaf'aluna. Put on this side. These are the noon comes and goes. And then taf'alani. And this one, this one, this one, this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 and 2 are repeating in it. And then this one is repeating. I mean, not this one. This one is repeating and this one is repeating. And then this is, so 1, 2, 3. It's the same. Taf'ulani. This is also taf'ulani. This is also taf'ulani. Right? They are the same. This is same. This is same. The context will tell us which is what. Is it they both or you both, masculine, masculine. So these are same. So if you remove them, they're only one. Count them as one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 4, 5. They are called af'alul khamsa. The noon comes and goes are called af'alul khamsa. And remaining are the mabni ones. These are fixed always, anytime. The yaf'alna and taf'alna. If you don't understand all these things, you have to do Madina book 2. Inshallah. Yaf'alna and taf'alna. Because I can't go in too much detail about all these things. But yeah, this is how it is. Yaf'alna and taf'alna. Okay. And how do you make it passive? In passive, the rule is easier. Give the first letter Dhamma again. First letter Dhamma. And second letter, second last letter should get a Fatah. Fatah. Khalas, that's it. There's no mutaharrik and all that. This is do. So in that ui, here that is ua. Ua. So how do you say yaf'ulu? Let me just say yaf'ulu. Yaf'ulu, right? So you make the give the first letter Dhamma and the second last letter is Ain. So give a Fatah. Yuf'alu. It is being done to him. Yuf'alu. That's it. So yaf'ulu, yuf'alu. And then conjugation is the same. Yuf'alani, yuf'aluna, tuf'alu, tuf'alani, yuf'alna, tuf'alu, tuf'alani, tuf'aluna, tuf'alina, tuf'alani, tuf'alna, uf'aluna. It's the same. And then how do you make the amr? You take this one. You take this one, right? You take taf'ulu, anta. I'm just showing you for the first time. You chop the ta. You chop the ta and chop the sukun. And then you cannot pronounce it. You say taf'ulu, for example. Taf'ulu. And then you have to chop the ta first. I chop the harful mudara. Why are we chopping the ta? Because this is mudara, right? I mean, these are the letters of mudara. So you have to chop them out. And you have chopped this this thing. Because amr should always have sukun at the end. They're mabni ala sukun most of the time. And then you cannot pronounce this. See, you'll be left with fa, ain, and sukun. How do you pronounce? Because Arabic we cannot pronounce with a letter starting with a sukun. So we'll bring a hamza before it. We'll bring what? Hamza before it. We'll bring a hamza. Now, what haraka should we give? Should we say af'ul or if'al or uf'ul? Again, we'll look at the middle letter. Middle letter. So ain has a dhamma, give a dhamma. Right? Uf'ul. Right? You give a dhamma. Uf'ul. So the rule is what? If it has a fatha, if fatha or kasra, give what? Kasra. Or if dhamma, give dhamma. Give dhamma. This is the rule. Like for example, yes, tasma'u. You are listening. Now chop the ta. How do you make amr from this? Chop the ta and chop the sukun. And then you will bring a hamza because you cannot pronounce this. And what will you give? Because this meme has a fatha. We look at the meme, the middle letter. Middle letter in the sense 1, 2, 3, 4. Middle letter in the sense doesn't mean, oh, there's no middle letter. No, don't look at the ta. Seen is the fa kalima. This is the ain kalima. This is the lam kalima, right? First letter, first radical, second radical, third radical. So look at the meme. It has a fatha. So you give a kasra. Isma, listen. Isma is listen. Isma'u. And then you do the same thing for all. So this is taf'alu. Uf'ul. Uf'ula. Uf'ulu. Uf'uli. Uf'ula. Uf'ulna. This is how you do. Remember, all this I've taught should not be considered because fa'ala is actually not Nassara. It's fa'ala yaf'alu. So don't go back to the verb. It's just giving this thing to show us Nassara yansuru. We'll look when we'll come to kataba or something. So this is how it is, right? Amr also is. So you will chop everything here. So it'll become uf'ola, uf'olu, and uf'oli. The verb is actually fa'ala yaf'alu. It's not bab nasara. I've just looked here of what he gave as he should have actually given nasara, would have been easy. By the way, by the same author, there's another big book, Mu'jam Tasrif al-Af'al. This is it's not Mu'jam al-Wasit. He gives many examples, like 110. He gives kataba, nasara, hadatha. He gives various examples. So you can go to this book and download this. If you just Google Mu'jam Tasrif al-Af'al, you'll get it. So he gives 4 or 5 examples for the same 110. In Mu'jam al-Wasit, he'll give only 2 examples. Oh, sometimes only 1. For example, let's come. So, for example, kataba. Now we can practice. So, huwa kataba. You see? Huwa kataba. Fine. You want to say huma. What do you do? Add an alif. Kataba. Hum katabu. They wrote. This is bab nasra. Again, fail mujarrad ثلاثي. This is nasara. And sahih salim. Huma katabata. You take katabat, katabata. Hunna katabna. Anta katabta. Take these endings and add them to it. Katabtuma, katabtum, katabti, katabtuma, katabtuna, katabtu, katabna. How do you make it passive? Remember, Madi, give Dhamma to the first letter and second last should get a kasra because there's only 3 letters. Kutiba, it was written. Kutiba, kutibu, kutibat, kutibata, kutibna. Kutibta, kutibtuma, kutibtum, kutibti, kutibtuma, kutibtunna, kutibtu, kutibna. And then you say, kataba is what? Is Nasara. So you think about it. Okay, Nasara yansuru. So kataba is also Nasara. So kataba yaktubu. Tu. Why tu? Because Nasara. You give a Dhamma. Kataba yaktubu. So this will be kataba yaktubu. So yaktubani. And you add an annun also, right? In Modal. Yaktubuna, taktubu, taktubani, yaktubna. And then taktubu. Taktubani, taktubuna, taktubina. And T is always taktubina when you're speaking to a girl. Taktubani, taktubna, aktubu, naktubu. How do you make it majhul? Passive. Give Dhamma to the first letter, second last should get a Fatah. Yaktubu will become yuktabu. It is being written. Yuktabu, yuktabani, yuktabuna. Same. Tuktabu, tuktabani, yuktabna. Again, ya comes back. And then tuktabu, tuktabani, tuktabuna, tuktabina, tuktabani, tuktabna, uktabu, nuktabu. And then Amr will be at uktub, uktuba, uktubu, uktubi, uktuba, uktubna. So this is how all the conjugation is. Masdar is what? Katbun or kitabun or kitbatun, kitabatun. Katabal kitaba khattahu. Written it. ويقالوا كتب الكتابة أخذ النكاح. كتب الكتاب also means to do marriage. Marriage. كتب الله الشيء. That means قضاه وواجبه وفرضه. كتب الله means Allah wrote something. That means Allah decreed something. So it means kataba. And how do you make ismul fa'il? So remember in Mujarrad, the pattern itself is fa'il. Like in English, we add ER, right? What is ismul fa'il? Ismul fa'il is the doer now. Like the one who kills is called killer. So in Arabic, we just add on the pattern of fa'il. Like for example, qaf, ta, and lam. You want to make killer. So qatil. Qatilun. Similarly, katib. Kaf, ta, and ba. Right? From kataba, we want to make katibun, writing. And what is Ismul Maf'ul? Ismul Maf'ul is the killed. On whom? Killer is the one who does the action. Killed is the one on whom it is being done or it was done. Killed is the one who didn't do anything. He was just killed. So we say on the pattern of Maf'ul. On 3 letters. Only we are talking about Sulati Mujarrad. Maf'ul. Like so, Qatala, you want to make it. Bring a meme. Maqtul. Maqtul. Kataba, you want to do maktub, something which is written, maktub. So ismul fa'il katibun, maktubun. Ismul fa'il is what? Katib and maktub. So this is all about 110. So again, what is 1? So mujarrad thulathi. And what is this 1 again? Nassara. And 0 means sahih salim. And we are done with 110. Alhamdulillah. Before we go on to 111, what is 1 again? Muda'af. So 110. Nassara, now we have Muda'af. Muda'af means double letter. See, Madda. What is the root letter in Madda? Is Mim Dal Dal. Inshallah, we'll see this in next class. But before we go, let's practice some verbs. So for practicing, I said we can download the Safwatul Masadir, the book. So he has all the Bab Nassara, right? This is Nassara. So you can take Sahih, like we can take one verb here, maybe Taraka, Al-Huduth, Akar, something like Khalada. No. Or Khalaq, but not Khalaqa. Because he created, she created. It is Allah who creates, right? Rakada is to run. Those so many of them, right? Nasara, he gives a lot of verbs. Nafada yanfudu, nafakha yanfukhu to blow, nasara yansuru to help, makatha, maybe you can do makatha to stay. Lamasa is to touch, qada. So you can go and practice all these verbs. See, there's so many. Naqala, haraba to run away. So maybe we can do makatha to stay. Makithin. So let's see makatha. I'll just write it down here. I'll make it Madi here. Madi on the right side. So makatha. Now I want to conjugate the past tense. Right? Hua makatha. How do you say huma? Add an alif. Very simple. Makatha. I want to say they all. Add a wow. Because in Madi, how do you do? Wow. And we add an alif just for writing purpose. Huh? Makathu. They all remained. They all stayed somewhere. Makatha, makatha, makathu. Now I want to say hiya. So what do you do? We add a tha. Makathats. Hiya makathats. And then they both. Makathata. You add a tha to it. Alif to it. Again, dual, right? Huma makathata. And now from here it should be easy. Makathna. Hunna makathna. Because anytime you want to say they all female, you have to bring a noon. Noon on niswa. Noon of women. And then anta will be makatta. This is all third person, right? Anta, antuma, antum. So makatta. Now it should be easier. Makatta, makattuma, makattum. Makattuma, makattum. Makastuma, makastum, makasti. Anti will be makasti. You makasti, makastuma, and then makastunna. Then ana will be makastu. Ana anytime will add tu. Makastu, I remained. Makastu and makasna. Makasna. Passive is also same. How do you make this passive? See, makatha. So passive rule is what? First, give a Dhamma to the first letter. Ui, right? This is past tense. Mukitha. Right? Mukitha. He was made to remain or something. Mukitha. Not every verb could have a passive, by the way, because only mutaaddi will have a passive. A verb which takes an object will have a passive. Not every verb will have a passive. So I don't know if makatha has passive, but if it is like this, mukitha, mukitha, mukithu. Then mudare. How do you make mudare? Ya, give a fatha, yam kusu. Yam kusu. Yam kusu. Why did we make yam kusu? Give a Dhamma, because this is Nassara. Remember, we're talking all about Nassaras here. Right? Nassara. So yam kusu, yam kusani. You give ani. Along with the alif al muthanna, you add a noon. So mudal is all about noons. Yeah. Anytime you want to add wow, add a noon. Ya, add a noon. Alif, add a noon. Or just to noon, don't add another noon. Yam kusna. And then yam kusuna. They all remain. And then tam kusu. You remain. This will be tam kuthan. Not you remain. This is she remain. Because you remain and she remain is same, if you remember, right? Tam kuthani. Yam kuthna. They all remain. And then tam kusu is you remain again. And then tam kuthani. You remain. And then tam kusuna. So you should be able to practice all these things. Huh? If you're able to do, alhamdulillah. Tam kuthina, tam kuthani. Tamkuthani, and then tamkuthna, right? Tamkuthna. And then amkusu, ana will be amkusu, nahnu will be namkusu. We remain. And majhul will be same thing. You give Dhamma to the first letter and the second last root, you get a fatha. If it is already fatha, we'll leave it. Yumkathu. He is being remained, or he is being this time. And then you can do the whole conjugation. Ani, una. Like that. Tumkathu, tumkathani. Yumkathna, and so on. These are all the verbs which you can. Safatul Masadir. You can download from the website and practice it out. So we are done with 110, right? Alhamdulillah. So we won't come back to it. And all those verbs which we saw, these are the verbs. You can practice all of them here. 110. What was 110? What is one again? So we are done with 3 letters, Mujarrad, Thulathi. And in this Mujarrad, Thulathi, there could be 6 babs. So which bab we are doing? Bab Nassara. And which type is it? Right? When it comes to weak letter, is Salim. Right? This is 110. We are done with 110. Alhamdulillah. So we won't be concerned about Bab Nassara Salim. Now we'll look at Bab Nassara Muda'af in next class. 111, 111. 111, inshallah ta'ala. How do you conjugate two letters, two twin letters, right? Inshallah, we'll see. Because there are some changes, it'll be similar. So that is the base. If you understand this base, you can do any verb, the Salim verbs, any Salim verbs of any bab. For example, Samia. Samia will also remain the same. Samia, Samia, Samiu, Samia. This is just the foundation. You can do any bab. Yeah, the problem will come in Muda'af or Mahmuz, Sahih Muda'af and Sahih Mahmuz, and then Sahih Mahmuz al-Fa. We'll look at them. Some changes will be there here and there because they found it difficult to say or whatever. You'll find some changes here and there. Okay. I've gone very slowly. If you are bored with it, inshallah, no problem. Inshallah, we'll go to the advanced stuff also. Slowly, after Sulati Mujarrad, slowly we'll go to Sulati Mazid, then we'll go to Rubai Mujarrad, and then Rubai Mazid. So this numbers will change. The hundreds, instead of all 100s, will go to 200s and 300s and 400s. Slowly, you will be able to understand. Now, this is all about 100. 100. And we are only focused on the 110s, right? 110. Then we'll go to 112, 113, there's no 113, huh? Oh, cool. 114, 115. And then, yeah. So two verbs he's given for that. Now will be, inshallah, next class we'll do 111. So Mujarrad, Nassara, and this is what? Muda'af. 2 double letters. We'll look at this in our next class. Barakallahu feekum, Jazakallahu Khairan. So I just thought we'll do such a series like this where just focus on conjugation of verb. So this is how it is, and just try to explain. So because it takes a lot of time to get used to verbs, and for me to understand took me years. I hated Modal, right? I know you used to understand Modal at all. I was like, what is this? I'm not able to understand. So inshallah, if you're able to understand, alhamdulillah. If you're not able to understand, keep doing Madina books or whichever books you're doing. Inshallah, it'll come with time, inshallah ta'ala. Because even if you don't understand like madda, like madadna, you don't know which verb it is, contextually you'll be able to translate, right? Most of the time, even if you don't know the conjugation of how to do it. All right. Jazakallahu Khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.